Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm Bill Beutel.
Before an anchorman comes to New York, he usually gets his experience by giving the news in places like Detroit, Denver, and San Francisco. Before Bill Beutel came to New York, he got his experience by getting the news in places like Saigon, Belfast, and Biafra.
This is Bill Beutel, 55 miles to the northeast of Saigon.
It's in the heart of the city, in the heart of Belfast. But 14 years ago, when I stood on that side of the Suez Canal, 5 million people in Saigon. In all of Vietnam, 70 million. November 9th, 1989, the Berlin Wall came down.
This is Bill Beutel, ABC News, doing his thing on the Isle of Wight, England.
Hey, Bill Beutel, Eyewitness News!
Oh, Mr. Beutel, we watch you at 6 o'clock every night.
We watch you at 11 every night.
We watch you at 6 and 11.
Every night!
And I started watching Bill Beutel when I was a little boy, but don't tell Bill that.
Well, I grew up watching you, and I've kind of had a secret crush on you all these years.
He was my first celebrity sighting. I just got to New York and I saw him, and I did the worst thing that you can do, which is I said, "Good luck and be well."
He became synonymous with Channel 7. You think about Bill Beutel and putting on his trench coat and walking out the door. It was just a great sight around here.
Bill was a star, and he knew he was a star and he was treated like a star. But he never really felt like a star. He felt like just another guy.
Bill Beutel on Eyewitness News. Absolutely terrific.
He was here, and then of course he went to Europe for a while. I think he was bureau chief in London for a time. And then he came back here. Then he and the Grimsby thing really took hold, and they were just absolutely dominant.
Team on the announce. Stand by to take camera 3.
The 6 o'clock report in color with Roger Grimsby, Bill Beutel, and the Eyewitness News team.
They were the king anchors of the time. They were the guys who were the anchormen at a time when television news was growing, becoming the popular thing it became.
Grimsby and I never set out to be funny. We never scripted any of the bon mot that came tumbling out of his mouth in particular.
Liz and Dick getting back together. We're going to tell you how and why.
I can't follow a lead like that.
Roger had this image correctly of being somewhat acerbic and irascible and the bad boy. But Bill was the real anchor in many ways, in that he was solid. He was always there. He could always be counted on.
I was there as kind of the censor. To say, oh, you really mean that, Roger, do you? Of course, he did mean it. That was why people watched.
Well, the show has really been doing well lately.
That's true.
That line I had on Bounton had to be a classic. Of course, working with you helps me look great.
Roger, you're too kind.
People, I'm going to be recognized.
I suppose so.
Bill? Bill Beutel! I watch you all the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bill always remained himself. He didn't compete with anyone. He just was himself. He didn't have to compete.
Working with Bill all these years, I'm absolutely convinced there's nothing to that old story about nice guys finishing last. Sometimes they finish second.
People always ask me, what's Roger Grimsby really like? Brash and arrogant. No, not really. I'd do anything for Roger, except loan him money.
Everything we did was like magical, and it would not have happened but for Bill. He was that steadying presence that had a profoundly stabilizing effect on what would have been a bunch of nut jobs.
Welcome to Don Swy.
One of the things I'm really proud of goes back to 1965. I wanted very, very badly to go to Vietnam.
I want to be real frank with you that I can't guarantee your safety here. In fact, I can't even guarantee our own safety. That's what we're trying to do most of the time.
And that started a trend which exists manyfold today. We cover the world, and we cover it by sending reporters there.
Thursday, January 16th, 1975. This is AM America from New York and Washington and California.
Good morning, I'm Bill Beutel.
Bill was one of the building blocks of ABC News. He pioneered morning television. Without the work that Bill did on AM America, Good Morning America could not have succeeded. And so I owe him a personal debt of gratitude.
It may be that he was just born to be a great local anchor person.
People will be surprised at how many different people in different communities in different parts of this city will be mourning Bill Beutel, because we all felt he told our story.
Knowing the political scene and the New York scene in particular made him special.
And he would always treat you fairly, sometimes maybe more fairly than you even deserved.
Even when he had to ask you a difficult question, or a question in which there maybe was some kind of a suggested contradiction or something, he always had a real style about doing it.
Do you think there might have been ways to accomplish your goals with a more gentle way of government?
Maybe. I don't know. And you always felt you were dealing with a gentleman.
Bill Beutel was the gold standard of anchorman. He set the standard for what we are in this business.
He didn't just show up and someone said, "You're going to read news today." He created a way of telling news that other people copy now.
Great things about Beutel was when he did the news, when he delivered the news, he did it in such a way that even if it was tragic, he kind of softened the blow.
We're in this crisis together, we'll pull out of it together. Why? Because we must.
He would look into that camera with those eyes and that smile.
And there's Bill Beutel, wishing you good night and good luck and be well.
Bill as an anchor was exactly that. He not only anchored the broadcast, he anchored the news team.
It was Bill's newscast. He's the franchise. Still is. Always will be.
Every night, I loved going out on that anchor set. Bill would have a joke, he'd sing, he loved to sing out there.
Another day.
He had that great voice. Remember when he played at Carnegie Hall?
Embrace me, my sweet embrace, so you.
I think of his 4 children and a dare. He was a loving and wonderful father. That's one thing you must remember. He was very proud of his children. He loved his children. And Adair was very significant in his life. I think that Bill, at the end of the day, found the real love of his life in Adair.
The last show for me with Bill, at that time I felt like things were never going to be the same.
And it was really hard to say goodbye to what was really the end of an era. And I'll never forget just hearing him say, "Good luck and be well," that last time on the air.
Thanks for everything. I'm Bill Beutel. Good luck, be well, good night.
It was just one of those moments.
I hope the legacy is not the epitaph, but I would say that if I leave a legacy, and I hope I do, it's my joy in this work. There's never been a day when I didn't want to come to work. That's not to say that I wouldn't have rather gone fishing on a given day, but there was never a day that I said, "Oh my God, I've got to go down to that studio and do this thing again." I would hope that younger people can find the same kind of joy in this kind of work. But what we do on the tube each day, if we are giving ourselves to it, we are doing something of great value to the country, to ourselves. And we do something that is worthwhile, and with God's luck, you can be happy doing it. I was.
May the road rise with you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God keep you in the hollow of his hand.